Live on the YouTube channel for you. Huddersfield Town against Reading in the £200 million playoff final here at Wembley. This really is the acid test for anybody coming up, trying to get up into the Premier League. Going to be a tough ask here as the teams come out to pyrotechnics. Huddersfield Town, who have not played in the top division since 1971, got past Sheffield Wednesday in a dramatic semi-final at Hillsborough against the Reading side, who just scraped past Fulham to get where they are today. Well, Wembley played host to a dramatic couple of cup finals this weekend. The FA Cup final, which you heard with us. As goes the pyrotechnics. And of course that terrific final yesterday between Blackpool and the terrific playoff final yesterday between Blackpool and Exeter, which was won by Blackpool with a late goal from Cullen, which has seen the Seaside is promoted back to the top division, back to the third tier of English football again. Should be nowhere near the bottom two divisions, Blackpool, the way they've gone about it. But only 5,000 Blackpool supporters actually made their way as the dignitaries being introduced to the Reading side. And let's give credit to the two managers out competing for this Premier League place in £200 million today. Jaap Stam, who's done a terrific job. Neil Swarbrick there just going through there as the referee. Well, now it's Huddersfield Town turn to be introduced. And good afternoon to Ashley, who's come on and said, "Come on, Huddersfield, I graduated from their university last year, most beautiful town in England." Well, one can't disagree with it. Huddersfield, who can boast famous faces like former Prime Minister Harold Wilson and the great Hollywood actor Sir Patrick Stewart. And there's David Wagner. What a job he has done. He took over a club in disarray some 18 months ago, and look how he's turned it around. They were in touch with Newcastle and Brighton for a long time, but now they're on the verge of greatness. Well, we're almost set then. The only one bit of thing we need to do now is now the national anthem. Carol Smears now will sing the national anthem. Beautifully sung, just like Emily Egg did on Saturday afternoon, but now the real business contents. And let's give you the two teams for this final, starting with Huddersfield with Ward in goals, back four with Smith, Heffield, Schindler and Lowe, Hogg and Moy, the two holding midfielders, Kachunga, Brown and Van La Parra, number 7, and Naki Wells, who's had previous Wembley experience, with Bradford leads the Huddersfield line up top. Danny Ward, of course, plays in goal. He was the hero in the semi-final, you may remember, against Sheffield Wednesday, with 2-3 magnificent saves. And this is the Reading side, few familiar names. Al-Absi in goal, back three of Benoli, Moore, Vandenberg, Gunter, Evans, Williams and Blackett, formerly of Manchester United, in the midfield quartet. Swift will play to the attacking midfield. Jan Kamagant, who won promotion with Bournemouth, and Lewis Graban are the two men up front. So both managers going for two different formations. Coleman, Hudson, Craney, Dennis, Holmes, Dennis, Whitehead, Palmer and Quainer for Huddersfield. Yakola, Obita, Kelly, Behrens, McCleary, Popper and Mendes are the Reading substitutes. Referee, as I say, Neil Swarbrick. What a big day it is for him, because there's a lot of pressure on him to try and make the right decisions on a day that could see one of these teams receive a £200 million windfall for going into the Premiership. And well, this is a real humdinger. We'll check the odds for you before the game. If you are having a bet on this game, please gamble responsibly. Nobody likes to end up. We'll have a look at the latest betting and odds for you with Bet 365. Soundbet's just playing right now, so let's just see if they have any live odds to bring us. No, they're not going to bring any live odds on, and I think, but I'm sure that Reading will be just about favourites with the bookies. Huddersfield underdogs, but that's just the way they like it now. Huddersfield, they're playing in the fluorescent black and yellow stripes. Reading playing in their normal traditional blue and white hoops, so both teams in hoop shirts. Huddersfield in their darker fluorescent strip. But David Wagner, what a job he has done. The German come out the shadows of Jurgen Klopp. He was the youth team manager there, and Jaap Stam there, the Reading manager. What a job he's done as well. Former Manchester United player, former Ajax player. As I say, Neil Swarbrick the referee, the two captains out in the middle. Chris Gunter of Reading is one of them, and the other one is Smith, I think, of Huddersfield. And before the kick-off, of course, like we did on Saturday and yesterday, we are going to have a minute's silence to those people who were tragically killed a week ago now in that terrible bombing in Manchester that claimed 22 lives, 22 people who went to see an Amani Grand concert and sadly never came home. So a minute's silence for those who sadly perished in that devastating, heartbreaking, tragic attack in Manchester almost a week ago. Well, the message is certainly clear there. As you saw on the scoreboard, we stand together. A few cheers shown in the crowd, but he certainly does put life and football certainly well into perspective. So Huddersfield Town, who can boast amongst the people that were born there, Patrick Stewart and Howard Wilson, a former Prime Minister, against Reading, who can boast Kate Winslet and Chris Town amongst their famous people that were born in their town. Yorkshire against Berkshire for a place in the Premier League next season. And off we go. It's Reading in the hoop shirts with the blue shorts. They're going to attack the goal to our left in this first half, and what a final it promises to be. Huddersfield, of course, in the fluorescent yellow shirts with a tinge of black hoops in them as well. Apologies there for the loss of sound, but we are back with you now. No goals. We've had 2 minutes of the playoff final. Free kick against FLA, number 44. Pushed in the back of one of the Reading players. It's the first time I've commentated now with these two teams, so apologies in advance for my lack of knowledge. In fact, it was a free kick to Huddersfield, a foul on the Reading player, foul by the Reading player, and the first goal kick. Mikel FA, promoted actually from the German third division with Dresden last year, so he knows a bit about getting promotion, albeit in Germany. Although one would assume I think it's his first ever Wembley appearance. Starver hit the ball. Wasn't the best free kick he hit, went out of touch. And here comes Necky Wells down this left hand side. He'll have plenty to say for himself, having played at Wembley before with Bradford City a few years back in the League Cup final, where they were beaten 5-0 by Swansea City on that occasion, and then they went to the playoff final against Northampton and won 3-0, and he got 2 of the goals. Kachunga was the man who was trying to make the break down the left hand side. And that's out of play. Poor fat from Reading. And a chance here for Huddersfield Town to make something of it now with Smith. They are the massive underdogs, Huddersfield, but David Wagner knows the job he's got, and that's another foul here by Chris Gunter, the other captain, the opposite number, the number 2. And they're having trouble here at the start, Reading. The referee was adamant that was a free kick to Huddersfield. Foul on Gunter. My knowledge on these two teams are rather sketchy because it's the first championship matchup taking up commentary of this season, but it is a big one. Free kick to Huddersfield, left of the penalty area on the far side. And what an opportunity now. It'll be whipped in whack-footed into the penalty area. Nicky Wells is up there. Here it comes, left-footed into the penalty area and just wide. Well, that could have been the opening goal for Huddersfield Town. They've started well in this playoff final. A lovely ball played in, and it was just a mirror to flick. It needed to be a stronger head connection, and that was 1-0 to Huddersfield Town. And it was, well, David Wagner can't believe it. Five minutes gone and almost the opening goal for Huddersfield Town. And now Hubsey's goal still intact. First big chance of the final. I think this is going to be a dramatic one. Now then, Grabban now on the near side. Grabban will check back in there. Gets the cross towards the back post. Huddersfield only half clearing in inside the penalty area, and it almost came to Reading this time. The men from Berkshire against the dogged men from West Yorkshire. And here come the Yorkshiremen now over the halfway line with Nicky Wells. Wells now towards the penalty area. Running at the Huddersfield defence. Still Nicky Wells. Has to track back though. Still the ball on the left hand side. Crossing from the left. And it's behind for a Huddersfield corner. And the Huddersfield fans getting behind their team here. Well, this has been an unbelievable start from Huddersfield Town. Plenty forward in fluorescent yellow, of course, as you would expect. Wells will be there trying to poach inside that 6-yard box. Almost virtually on Al Absi's ground. Flick on by a Reading player. And it will be a throw to Huddersfield, 5 yards from the corner quadrant on the right hand side. 7 minutes gone, and you have to say the best chances have fallen in favour of Huddersfield Town here. Boy, to Izzy Brown. Brown turns. Wells was surely taken out there. The referee Swarbrick said no. Did look a foul on Nicky Wells, but it's still 0-0. Ball played forward on the far side, and that won't be kept in. Goal kick for Reading. Rusleva there trying to keep it in, the other ball back. In the cricket, England were bowled out for 153, and South Africa now have reached 59 for naught. They got to an interval in that game, and it's looking ominous now that England will lose that. England will lose that particular game. Not what you want going into the Champions Trophy this season. And David Wagner has done a tremendous job at the John Smiths now. Reading, they haven't been to the top division since the days of Frank Worthington in the early 70s. 1971, I think you have to go back to the last time Huddersfield actually played in the top division. Of course, then was called the First Division. Going up to 10 minutes gone. They've had the better of things here at Wembley so far. Ball down the right hand side, and Kachunga does well down the right hand side. Chance here to get the ball back into the penalty area. Kachunga gets it in the area. Well, take on a couple of defenders, gets a shot in, and it's been missed by Izzy Brown at the back post. I paused for a moment because I thought for a moment the net was going to ripple, and Izzy Brown has somehow missed from inside the 6-yard area at the back post. Kachunga did terrifically well to get the cross in. Absi didn't have a chance, and inexplicably Izzy Brown has missed the target. Oh, he shinned it wide, and from inside they got that. Should have been 1-0. I think that's why I paused, because I expected Brown to score, and I think I was in disbelief. He's come back since knee injury, and he's played in the last 6 to 7 games. And now Reading at the other end, trying to create something here, and it's just wide from Lewis Grabban with his right foot, 20 yards out, and just wide at the far post for a goal kick to Huddersfield Town. Both teams here having chances. Oh, and Grabban, we know, can score goals in this Championship League. So it's not just Huddersfield that are having chances here in this opening 10 minutes or so of this final. Reading are having a few chances themselves. I think we're in for a cracker here today. Ward had it covered. Both managers having one or two moments, but Izzy Brown has missed the more glorious chance of the lot. Reading should be behind in this final. Danny Williams, in fact, has played in 27 out of his last 28 games. Done really well. Been one of the form players for Huddersfield Town this season. But Reading, I should say, this season. These two teams were really struggling at the wrong end of the Championship last year, and then obviously Yapstam took over. It's galvanised the team, and so too has David Wagner. Cleared it out from top to bottom and has really done the town proud. And Reading, of course, have played in the Premier League a couple of times before. And Steve Coppell and Nigel Atkins took them up a few years ago, of course. And now Hogg has kept that one going. Hogg gets the ball back again down the left hand side, but the Hogg's ball will be too much and it will run into touch, and Benapara can't obviously chase that one. David Wagner, all in black today. Action areas 14% in the Huddersfield half, 40% in the centre, and 46% of the game being played in the Reading half. Shows you how much dominance Huddersfield have had in the opening 12 and a half minutes. But David Wagner will be happy. He did say in a pre-match interview that the focus is just on the Reading and how they're going to try and play against Reading, and not think about what might be come 4:45. I should also remind you guys that there has to be a decision here today. No replays, of course. Well, if it's level after 90 minutes, we will have the extra half hour, and if we can't pick a winner in that extra half hour, then we will have a penalty shootout. Now, we haven't had one yet on the YouTube channel, and this is the last domestic game we're covering this season, so anything can happen today. And we usually get at least one in a playoff final every other year, whether it's depends on what division it is. Moore doing terrifically well there for Reading on the halfway line. 13 minutes gone here at Wembley. Huddersfield Town 0, Reading 0. First time, I think, in the Championship playoff final for Huddersfield. Reading have been here before in 2011 when they lost to Swansea and Brendan Rodgers 4-2 in the final, and then Reading, of course, next season made up for that by winning the Championship title under Nigel Atkins. Of course, Reading have got new owners, so even if they lose today, you still expect them to be at least massive favourites for promotion. It all depends, if they do lose today, whether they'll keep hold of Jaap Stam for the foreseeable future, because his stock has really risen. They had a good start to the season and then sort of tailed off, and then in the last 7 or 8 games have put themselves right back in contention, and have blown out of form teams like Leeds and one or two others really out the water. They won 2-1 in over 2 legs in Reading against Fulham, in a very tight semi-final. It was even tighter in the Huddersfield Sheffield Wednesday match. So still 0-0. You haven't missed much. We're just, again, just having one or two troubles with sound. We've got pretty bad weather at the moment. It's not exactly a bright day at Wembley today, but with a goalless first half at the moment. But it's been a good 15 minutes to watch and admire. That is for sure. As Ward actually gets that ball away. He's on loan, of course, from Liverpool, a club that Huddersfield could potentially face if they win this match here today. Ilori has been penalised. 15.5 minutes gone at Wembley. Huddersfield 0, Reading 0. Played his last 5 games. One previous substitute appearance in the last 17 games. And we've got more football to come before the season's out. This is not the last club game you'll hear on the YouTube channel, because on a week today we'll have delayed commentary of Saturday's Champions League final between Juventus and Real Madrid. That's a foul, and the first yellow card of this player final is going to go to a Reading player. It's Vandenberg, I think, the number 4. It was a really silly challenge there. And that was it was just an evil, crude challenge there on the Huddersfield lad, Kawanga. Joey Vandenberg then the first recipient. It's his 10th yellow card, incidentally, of the season, but now puts Reading in a little bit of trouble here, because it's a free kick about 35 yards out to the right of the area. Moy is going to take it, number 10, potentially. There are 2 over it though, to be fair. And this is a glorious opportunity here for Huddersfield Town. But Moy won't be having any of this. Looks as if we're going to have the left footer here. And it's going to be swung in left footed into the danger zone, and it went right through and behind for the goal kick. Well, just having a replay here of the Izzy Brown chance. Well, Kawanga does terrifically well, takes two out of the game, and maybe could have been a hint of offside as that ball was played into him. Maybe he was a little bit aware whether he was offside or not, but still, even so, that is probably the worst miss of the season. He's a top player though, Izzy Brown. He's had a good season for Huddersfield. He's had very consistent season. Meanwhile, we've got a Huddersfield player down on the ground. I can't tell who it is. Camagant is absolutely annoyed about it. It's the captain Smith for Huddersfield. Not too much of Naki Wells yet. Naki Wells, of course, who's scored at Wembley before, and I'm sure Yapstam will have known that, doing his own work before. This was the incident with Camagant, former Bournemouth player. Was from behind. It was a 3 kick, and Jan Camagant should know that. In fact, he's got a book. He's got a booking. It's his 11th for the season. So 2 Reading players in the book, and the Upstown will be a little concerned by that. Wicket short to Smith. And that is charged down. That will go into touch. Well, this was the incident again. Camagant very late in on Smith there, and a free kick. So 2 yellow cards to Reading, none to Huddersfield, who have been more disciplined, been the more disciplined set of players than what Reading are. And Smith trying to play. Here's Naki Wells. Naki Wells gets a good cross in and turned away by the Reading defence. I think it's a throw over on the far side. But Naki Wells this time, we haven't seen much of him until now. Explodes here to Bermudan, gets the ball into the penalty area, and on the 6-yard line it was turned away by a Reading defender. As Moy now gets it over on the left hand side. Another throw to Huddersfield Town. 19 minutes gone here at Wembley in the Championship playoff final. Millwall won the League One playoff final amongst some controversy. Half of their supporters went onto the field when they shouldn't have done, and in my opinion should have been chucked out of the league because of their supporters. I think they are a disgrace to the EFL Millwall, but they are in the Championship. I think they should have been stripped of promotion after what happened at the final whistle a week ago, and Bradford given their place instead, but it's going to stand. And then yesterday, in a real seesaw battle, not punters too many people, I think around 36,000, because Blackpool didn't take so many. They took about nearly 6,000, only 6,000. They usually take 35 to Wembley occasions like that, but because of still the bad running of the club by Owen and Carl Oyston, it's not. They stayed away, and 5,000 of them saw what was a great performance against all odds, against a very smart, well-drilled Exeter side. So it's so who will join those two teams in winning promotion here at Wembley? Remember, £200 million is the prize. It's rich. This is the richest final, bigger than the FA Cup and bigger than prize money you get for winning the FA Cup and the League Cup. Here's Aaron Moy now for Huddersfield Town. Keeping possession well, and Moy again gets it again. It's a good first half here. Just needs a goal as we come up towards the halfway mark. You are welcome to comment. Ball is out of play. There's an injury, I think, and it doesn't look good for one of the Huddersfield players. If you'd like to comment, please do, but please keep your comments clean. No spam, no spams, no links, and definitely no swearing. That was a foul there by Gunter, or a late challenge there by Gunter. Although I have to say, though, having said all that, it's purely accidental, but it's a breaking play. And just to tell you that on the YouTube channel next week we'll have delayed commentary of the European Cup final that takes place on Saturday between Real Madrid and Juventus. Gigi Buffon looking to complete one more thing off his bucket list, a Champions League medal, which he's never won. He's won a World Cup and he's won Serie A countless times, but there we are. But before we carry on with the promos, let's just take in the applause in the 22nd minute for those who sadly died a week ago in that terrible attack on Manchester, to those people who went to watch an Randy Grand concert, just to watch a musical gig, and sadly would never come home. Really does put life and football into perspective, and I'm sure those players and the supporters, whoever wins or loses, will certainly know that fact, that they're still living and breathing and they've got their own lives to lead. They've got a future in front of them, and they've still got their health and everything else, and there's 22 families who will not think that. But that was a nice respectful cheers, and it looks as if the Huddersfield defender, it was number 15, that's going to come back on. Here's Ward, Danny Ward, the Huddersfield goalkeeper, the hero in that dramatic penalty shootout against Sheffield Wednesday, with the kick. Over the halfway line it goes. Header won again by Kawanga. Izzy Brown now takes possession. The afro-haired Izzy Brown. Ball towards Machunga, right hand side. He'll have to keep that in though, and he has done. Now can he get the ball in? First time crossing into the penalty area. Huddersfield still, I have to say, in this opening 24 minutes have been the dominant team, but still no breakthrough here in the 2017 playoff final. Crossing from the left hand side, nodded behind for Huddersfield corner. Ready now, having to defend quite a lot. They were the favourites going into this final, and well, it's the underdogs, Huddersfield, and it's the way they prefer it. Plenty will be forward. Jonathan Hogg will certainly come forward with this corner. Plenty forward in fluorescent yellow as this corner comes in towards the penalty area. But again, Reading getting away. A lot of people, I can see there, hoping and praying that Huddersfield win. Harvey 905, I think he's a first timer. Hi there, Harvey. He's a Huddersfield fan, I think, and he wants Huddersfield to win. Well, I've got to say, Huddersfield and Reading fans, get in touch. We'd like to hear from you guys. And I don't mind a good humoured banter, but keep it clean, keep it very, very clean, no swearing. We are a family programme, and we try and appeal to all ages. Tyler Blackett, formerly of Manchester United, to take a throw for Reading. Made his debut against Reading for Manchester United a couple of years ago when they lost 2-1 to Swansea City that day. It was Van Gaal's first ever match in charge. He gave Blackett his debut at Old Trafford. There's Danny Ward again, the hero of the hour against Sheffield Wednesday. Those penalty saves, and I think we've got an Exeter fan there. Well, be disappointed that the team lost out, but they were second best in trophy against Blackpool. They didn't really get going really until Blackpool had scored, and obviously lost Tom Alderweireld there to injury. Van der Bauer trying to get forward again, and but it's Huddersfield at the moment. The Yorkshire side in the ascendancy as Izzy Brown tries to flick that forward. He's had the game's outstanding chance so far, missing from 3 yards out at the far post. And the ball back again with Danny Ward again. We just lost sound for a second or two, but we are back with you now. Just to remind anyone who's tuned in to our commentary today, if it is level after 90 minutes, we will have extra time. If it's level after that, we will have a penalty shootout. So it will be a decision, a foul there on Izzy Brown by Williams, or the other way around, I think. I think it's going to give him the way to Reading, I think. Two half-road haired players. Izzy Brown has had a terrific season, so too has Williams. He won the free kick actually. So 27 minutes gone. Huddersfield should be in front, but they're still being held by dogged and determined Reading, superbly oiled by their manager Jaap Stam. So many years, a Dutch international, European Cup winner, and I did say no spamming like that. We will not allow that. Do not do that. We are streaming it live. There's a reason why we're doing it audio. Do not. YouTube will be taken off YouTube at half time, because I'm sorry, but you cannot promote other stuff on my YouTube channel. I will not allow it. And the comments are not there to do that. The comments are there to talk about the game. Meanwhile, foul in the centre circle by an Huddersfield man, and Williams wants not just a free kick but more retribution for the Huddersfield defender. Danny Williams was the man fouled, I think. Neil Swarbrick now standing for no nonsense. He's already booked 2 Reading players early on in the final. It's Jonathan Hogg. He's going to get himself a yellow card. Well, I suppose if you're going to book two Reading players for silly challenges, I think it was, well, let's have a look. Well, yeah, yellow card for me. Hogg went in rather late there, and he becomes the third recipient. That's his 9th booking of the season off. But Reading don't make anything of that that free kick. They've rather wasted that opportunity. 29 minutes gone, still goalless. But like the other 2 finals, the FA final and the League 2 final preceded this final, then I think it's still been a good game, still been a good watch, and just needs a goal, and the blue touch paper will be well and truly lit. Sometimes the thrilling finals do take a little while to come to life. Remember the one in 1993 when Swindon and Leicester played out that 4-3 classic, and it took until the 41st minute for Glenn Hoddle to light the blue touch paper. He was player manager at the time with Swindon. Scored an absolute screamer with his right foot from outside the penalty box on the right hand side, and then we had those 6 goals in the second half. Swindon had gone 3 up by the hour mark, and then Leicester pulled it back to 3-3, and then Bowling with a penalty at the end, winning Swindon one of the most dramatic finals there's ever been at Wembley. And of course there was that one in 98 between Sunderland and Charlton. Charlton winning it on penalties, of course. Sasha Illich, remember him? We'll hope for something like that today. But the playoffs always have that habit of producing dramatic occasions like that before. Schmidt now continues his run, does really well. Some good football being played certainly by Huddersfield Town. I've been impressed with their footballing skills in this first half. 30 minutes gone. They've been the better team, but should be in front. But the sitter missed there by Izzy Brown hasn't cost them too much yet, as Naki Wells takes possession now for Huddersfield, 25 yards from goal. Here's Izzy Brown now, midway inside the Reading half, looking for options, almost found Wells, and he felt he was tripped then. I had to say, looked a foul, but the referee deciding that it wasn't the case, and Reading come away with the ball on the right hand side. And still 0-0 in this Championship playoff final. £200 million at stake for the winner. The richest final in football. Even richer than the FA Cup final, League Cup final, and Europa and Champions League final combined. We thought that they get more money for winning this final than the Champions of Europe do. And they're playing next weekend, of course, in Cardiff's Millennium Stadium. You'll be able to hear the late commentary of that on Monday afternoon here on my YouTube channel. And then coming up, neither live or delayed, we'll have England versus Scotland from Hampden to end our series of commentaries on the YouTube channel this season. So still 2 or 3 games left to describe for you this season before we take a much needed summer break. Couple of months to recharge the batteries. And of course I'll have my own season review of how the games have gone. As attempts wise, we look at Huddersfield 3, Reading 1 at the moment, as Huddersfield try to play something on target. Not on target yet, but which is quite rare to say. We've had a good game, good watch, but yet no goals to like the blue touch paper, not even a shot on target. You have to obviously look at the stats and the bare facts, but there has been some very good football played in the main by Huddersfield Town. Reading have had their moments too, and they've kept possession. They're keeping possession rather well now. Huddersfield have brought about 9 or 10 men behind the ball here, not allowing Reading to play their fluent passing game, which they're having to play towards the back here. And if Huddersfield keep pressing, then it wouldn't be a great surprise if they play it back to former Wigan keeper Al Absi at the end of the day. But they need something here, Reading. As Kamaganti is tripped from behind by Mui, and that will be a 3 kick to Reading here, the team from Berkshire. Reading, who can boast Chris Tarrant and Kate Winston amongst their celebrity fans, against a Huddersfield team who can boast the great Howard Wilson, who was the Prime Minister in the late 60s, early 70s, and the Star Trek and Hollywood actor Patrick Stewart as their supporters. Quite a number of famous people from those towns. The reason I say those 4 celebrities, 2 from either side, they were all born in their respective towns. Winston and Tarrant in Reading, Stewart and Wilson in Huddersfield themselves. So they are proper former residents of the town. They were born and bred there. Swift has a 3 kick. Dead central, about 35 yards from goal. He's looking at it, Swift, I think. There's 2 in the wall. Swift does shoot right-footed, but shoots wide of the right-hand goal, end of the goal, and a goal kick it is to Huddersfield Town. And he has a goal with him, Swift. And June the 10th at 4 o'clock, and you'll see this one live with us, in fact. It's Scotland versus England. And we'll have updates, of course, as Northern Ireland's game in Azerbaijan. And then June the 11th, we'll bring you some. Of course, there's Republic of Ireland. They're playing on June the 11th, and Serbia play as well at 7:15 against the Welsh, who need a result really after and they were out Gareth Bale and obviously Neil Taylor for that one after that horrendous tackle you may remember in Dublin against the Irish. So we will be live with the England-Scotland game from Hampden Park. We'll be on the air about 5 o'clock as the shot goes over the top from about 25 yards just to left of centre. And the goal kick to Huddersfield Town. 10 to play till the break. It needs to be decided today. Both teams, incidentally, I should have pointed this out at the start, are wearing black armbands in memory of the people that didn't survive the terror attack in Manchester. The last 10 minutes possession, I'm just seeing there that Huddersfield have had 41%, Reading have had a whopping 59%. So it just shows you how well that the Reading have soaked up the Huddersfield pressure. But here comes Kabunga now keeping that in on the far side. Here's Izzy Brown deep inside Reading territory, now play towards Nekiwaz on the edge of the area. Well marshalled, but it'll come to Brown on the edge of the D, gets his shot in left footed, it deflects behind on the far side for a Huddersfield corner. That's met with David Wagner's seal of approval, clapping away on the far side. He's a very astute, very particular sort of guy, David Wagner. Worked under Jurgen Klopp at Borussia Dortmund in the youth setup for many years. As FLA comes forward, number 44 Schindler, number 26 is in there, Kalonga is in there too. Wells will surely be on the goalkeeper's tail inside the 6-yard box, although he is surrounded by 3 Reading defenders. Corner in from the far side, completely misses everybody in the centre and goes out for a goal kick. Curls out of play on the near side for a goal kick to Reading, although Al Habsi was in 2 minds whether to come and grab it or not. Wasn't very decisive goalkeeping by the former Wigan man. Several very good years at Reading, at Wigan, sorry. Has been Reading's Player of the Year for the last 2 years. Although he did cheat against Burnley in a championship game at the Majeski last year when I think Gray took a penalty and he must have been about 3 yards off the line before Gray struck it. And I've still got grievances about that, even though it didn't really matter much in the grand scheme of things. Yes, I have to get to griping about a previous opponent cheating against Burnley, I really do, but I don't hold it against him now. He's had a good season though, he's a top goalkeeper, top championship goalkeeper, did have a good run in the Premier League for so many years with Wigan. A real tough cookie to beat in goal on his day. He does enjoy it. I think he was on the bench in fact when Wigan did win the FA Cup in 2013. Although he didn't play, it was Joe Robles who was in goal that afternoon, and he actually proceeded to have a really good game against Manchester City. Schindler's done well at his there for Huddersfield, trekking back there, and the referee has given a free kick against Lewis Grabban. 38 minutes gone then at Wembley Stadium in the Championship player final, the £200 million final at Wembley. You are welcome to comment. No spam, no links neither to the game. But please, 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 you are welcome to comment and talk about the football match. No swearing, no nothing. Keep your comments nice and clean. 38 and a bit minutes gone. In fact, we've had 39 minutes gone of this final, and it's still dreadlocked at 0-0. But we may have had many. It hasn't been a dull first half by any means at all. Reading have a throw on the near side, just 5 yards inside Huddersfield territory. About 15 yards, I think, inside Huddersfield's territory. And I don't know what Cameron Taylor's actually saying about that. If it's about the commentary, don't bother. It's an audio commentary and it's there for a reason. But please keep your comments clean, or you will be thrown off the stream at half time. We will take a break for 5 or 10 minutes. South Africa on the verge of winning the 3rd one-day international England bowled out for 150 odd. Not their greatest hour batting wise in the cricket, as they build up to the ICC Champions Trophy, which takes place in about a week or two's time. Final on June the 20th, and then it's the test matches with South Africa, and of course we'll try and bring you a few NatWest T20 commentaries to liven up your Thursday and Friday evenings whenever we can. 40 minutes gone, 0-0. You've not missed anything at the moment. It's been any significant action. Kajunga has had a pretty good first half, and there is the Huddersfield chairman in the royal box, Dean Hoyle. What a job he has done, and what inspiration to appoint David Wagner. I think that has been the turning point in Huddersfield's rise, really. A few years ago they were really struggling to get out of League One, and they did so in the one here at Wembley in the most remarkable penalty shootouts you'll ever see. I think they won about 13-12, and we had something like 35 penalties in the shootout against Sheffield United. I think we had both goalkeepers taking penalties. I think they went round, I think, twice, if memory serves me right. I might be wrong, but it was one of the most remarkable penalty shootouts I've ever seen in nearly 25 years of watching and actually commentating on football. Man and boy, of course. You guys will... No, I'm going to give my edge away to you guys. 0-0 as we're now into the last 4 minutes of the first half at Wembley. As Swift now turns for Reading. Into the penalty area goes John Swift, and Swift does really well. It has to go away from a couple of Huddersfield defenders who well, I thought for a moment had fouled him, but they hadn't, and here come Huddersfield now breaking down the left hand side, and that surely has to be a foul. Huddersfield player gone down. Van der Bara has been taken out, and Upstam looks on quite nonchalantly there, as he always did. Van der Bara, that's it. I do forgive me for the sketchy knowledge of these two teams. It's the first time I've ever commentated on them. That's Williams who made the challenge. Now, yes, absolutely took him out there. Nothing too malicious from Danny Williams, although Yapstam claiming that he got the ball, but Huddersfield now have possession on halfway with Smith, the captain. Will it be Smith, or will it be Chris Gunter of Reading lifting the big playoff, three-handle playoff trophy at the end of the afternoon here at Wembley? 2 minutes of normal time now to go. Here's Danny Ward, who made those sensational saves in the penalty competition at Sheffield Wednesday nearly 2 weeks ago now, but his ball's been intercepted, and here come Reading now, deep inside Huddersfield territory. That's a good tackle. That was a proper tackle there by Schindler. Did really well, I thought. 90 seconds of normal time to go, and then it will be down to the fourth official to add on what necessary time Neil Swarbrick's instructed him to add on at the end of the first half. As Reading now looking to snatch a goal right on the half-time mark, and what a moment it could be for one of these two sides if they could snatch a goal or two here before the break. That'll run out of play, and well marshalled there by Smith. Vandenberg playing the ball forward, but out it goes for a goal kick. 1 minute to go. Won the Dutch second league title, Joey Vandenberg, with Zurich back in 2011-12. So he knows how to get promotion to the top tier in Dutch football. But this is something completely different. There's nothing like that anywhere else in the world. Playoff finals are there. I'm surprised more countries have not tried to use the playoff system. They said it was a flawed idea, and it wouldn't last too long when they introduced it back in 86-87. In those days the finals were played over 2 legs, and then in 1990 it was always a one-off occasion. And since 1990, it's all 3 divisional playoff finals have been played at Wembley Stadium. And it makes that occasion just that bit better. Ashley's been on, he says, turning out as expected. It's a 50-50 toss of a coin game. I don't think anyone would disagree with you. We have played the 45 minutes and we're going to have 2 extra minutes more at the end of the first half. And so another 120 seconds to see if anybody will score in that time. And then we'll have half time, half an hour 10-minute break to get my breath back and a bit of light refreshment before we go into the business end of things into the second half. And here come Huddersfield down the left hand side. Ali Nakiwell's in the middle, if he can get his head up and get the cross in, and there was just nobody in the middle for the cross, which was a good teasing one, but they felt rather anything that Van der Para didn't keep that in on the far side, but he kept that in all right. There's only Nakiwells, and he's not the tallest of men. Izzy Brown, I thought, might have made a bit of a run in there, but at the end of it, that was a poor, really, that was not good attack play there from Huddersfield. Didn't give Van der Para support in the middle, which he needed for a good cross like that. Here's Williams now breaking through the middle for Reading. Goes out to the far side. But the only... Well, it looked another good tackle. The tackle's flying in there. The great old Yorkshire grid of Huddersfield Town. And Dean Saunders, if you say that again, you'll be chucked out. If you don't like it, don't comment. Tyler Brockett now for Reading. As I say, no swear words, because now anybody that said anything will be chucked out. If you want to comment respectfully and cleanly. Here come Reading inside the penalty area. Last chance here before half time, and they'll get a corner out of it. We've played now the 2 minutes. Camagant now making something out of nothing on the near side, getting away from 2 Huddersfield defenders. They're usually quite reliable, and then I came off a defender last. It was Hilali, and it will be a corner. Apologies for the pronunciations of some of these players. I've never commentated on them before, so you just have to bear with me. A bit of tussling and jostling and shoving going on in that Huddersfield penalty box. Away to our left as that corner comes in. Punched away with great authority by Danny Ward inside his own 6-yard box, and there we are. We're at half time here at Wembley Stadium, and in the main it was a half that was dominated in large periods by Huddersfield Town, who had the best chance of the half when it went. Ball was playing towards the 6-yard area. Izzy Brown with a goal at his mercy from 3 yards, maybe less than that, tried to hook that in, and he sort of shinned it wide of the far post and wide of the target. And at the moment it's stalemate, but it's been a good final, been terrifically played in a very good spirit, but at the moment no breakthrough in this 2017 Championship playoff final. We're going to take 10 minutes here we'll be back with you with the second half and news of the 3rd one-day international between South Africa and England as well. That's taking place this afternoon as well. So stay with us. We'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes time. We're going to get some light refreshment, but half time here at Wembley in the 2017 playoff. The winners win a place in the Premier League, a trophy and £200 million. At the moment it's stalemate with the score. It's Huddersfield 0, Reading 0. Welcome back to the Championship Player Final. Just to remind you what I just wrote there about 5 minutes ago. No swearing or spam messages and you will be reported, and I'm taking a very firm stance against that. You will be reported to YouTube and you will not be appearing on any of my channels ever again. Right, let's get back to the final. So let's have a look at some of the what's going on elsewhere in the world of sport today, because there was other events taking place this bank holiday other than sport. Just a moment or two. But we're just waiting for the teams to come back out at Wembley. England only made 150 in their match, and Huddersfield, not Huddersfield, South Africa, making light work of that. Looks as if they're going to win the third Royal London One Day International. Not good preparation for England with the Champions Trophy coming up on Tuesday, and that's always a bit of a worry when that happens. But we are back at Wembley, and Jaap Stam leading his Reading team out. Knows he's got a big 45 minutes ahead of him. So too will be David Wagner for Huddersfield. Remember, whoever wins this final goes into the Premier League. Alex Neil is amongst the people punditting today. He won the playoffs 2 years ago with Norwich. It's a bland final that was won by Hull City last year against Sheffield Wednesday. But Huddersfield Town, who have got the Wembley experience and have won. And we are back with you now at Wembley in just a second or two. It's the two protagonists over on the far side, Messrs Wagner and Stam, get ready to do battle for the second 45 minutes that we've got in store for you this afternoon. Great first half, I thought, without any real penetration in the main, but still, as I say, a long way to go. And off we go now with the second half. Off we go in the second half. No goals at the moment in this final. There's an early shot chance there, going for goal from Chris Lowe, and wide it goes. No changes from IB11. We'll try and give you a recap of the two teams. And I did say to you guys in the playoffs, both of you, no more spam messages. I am a little bit fed up of you lot now saying spam messages, because we're not trying to promote your channel. We don't want to promote your channel. All we want to do is promote the commentary. If people, the only reason we do audio commentaries is because we have no rights from the Football League to show any match action. That's why it's called an audio commentary. And I do say, at the end of this match, you will be reported and you will be deleted from YouTube. I will make sure of that. Anyway, back to the game, 0-0. And a good final this could be now if we could just get one goal. A few of the supporters, the Prawn Sandwich Brigade, still to enter their seats on the far side here at Wembley. Here's Chris Gunter, the Reading captain. And here's Danny Williams for Reading inside the centre circle. And the ball played back over halfway now. Both teams now attacking the end, and a shot coming in, a good save there by Danny Ward. And it still might fall for Reading. Came a bit of a surprise, crossing from the right hand side and hooked away, but that's the first real chance. That's the first real chance of the second half, and it went to the team from Berkshire, Reading. Danny Ward, who's had a marvellous season in goals for Huddersfield Town, proving his worth yet again. He was the hero in the semi-final at Sheffield Wednesday 12 days ago, and proving to be a worthy hero here today. Remarkable piece of goalkeeping there by the on-loan Liverpool man. Now a long ball over the top here for Wales to chase, and a good tackle there. It really was a good tackle because he had to win that very well. Well, this final now really beginning to hot up. 0-0 here in a match that certainly could go either way. "48 minutes gone. You're missing absolutely nothing of this final thus far. Williams has now been penalised. Well, I'd like to hear from you people who you think will win this playoff final, as the crowd now start to cheer that little bit more. Reading fans now starting really to get behind their team, as Nicky Wells now goes forward for Huddersfield Town. Out to the far side it goes. And Bosunga now inside the penalty area, hooked away to safety there by Reading, and Kashunga had made a terrific burst. And it's the first time we've seen him explode in this second half. Kashunga making a good break. Tommy Smith had made the break, and it was down the right hand side. And maybe this second half is just starting to come to the boil a little bit here. And the referee has blown for something or other. Smith has been penalised. And it was Evans here breaking forward here, and it was the save there. That was the chance. It was George Evans, as I say, with the opportunity. With a really good opportunity then. 9 goals and 5 assists Swift in 42 appearances this season, so he does have an eye for goal. Still we await the first goal of this playoff final. Like the rain in Manchester, I can see a goal coming. Well, we hope so, Ashley, we hope so. And I hope football has done your city proud with all these tributes that have been paid throughout the FA Cup final and the League Two and today's final. I hope it's done your city proud, the tributes that have been paid when your town, your city in such trying circumstances as it is. And I hope everything, and I hope we've done Manchester a great service to the football world. As Ban Lapora goes down, a late challenge there, free kick just on halfway to Huddersfield Town, who have a former Manchester United legend along their books. Many years ago though, early 60s, Dennis Law, one of his first clubs, then went on to Torino, and of course played for both Manchester clubs with great distinction. In fact, as Huddersfield take a quick free kick looking for Izzy Brown inside the penalty area, but well taken by Ali Al-Habsi, who had moved off the line lightning quick. Dennis Law goes down in the annals of Manchester Derby history of being a former United player, and he's back here in 1974, sent United down playing for Manchester City. The great legend of the game, started his career at Huddersfield Town, and obviously went on to be a legend certainly at Manchester United, and represented Manchester City with great distinction there. Actually has replied, it has JB. Football clubs around the country have shown true class, forever grateful. Well, it just puts life and football certainly, and sport in general, into some kind of perspective, as Gunter wins another corner here for Reading. 53 minutes gone in the 2017 Championship playoff final, and a great final here starting to come to the boil at Wembley. If it's little after 90 minutes, listeners and folks, ladies and gentlemen, then it will be extra time. And if we can't find a win in that 30 extra minutes, we will have penalties. Vandenberg to take the Reading corner from the near side. Neil Swarbeck just pushing, watching for jostling and pushing. Vandenberg with the left-footed corner in towards the penalty area, just on the edge of it, in fact, and then the attempted volley is over the top by Camagant, and a goal kick to Huddersfield Town. So it's Reading who have been asking all the questions in the opening 10 minutes of the second half. Huddersfield, I don't think have got out the changing room thus far. Stan knows what it takes to win at the old Wembley. He did it as part of the treble winning team with Manchester United back in 1999, and then the same team 4 days later went on to win the European Cup when it was being held on Wednesdays. Nowadays it's being held on Saturdays, and on the 3rd of June that final does take place between Juventus and, of course, Real Madrid, the current holders. John Majewski there, the Reading chairman. He is still the chairman, although the ownership is not his anymore. Made his fortune through Auto Trader, John Majewski. A little bit of useless information for you listeners, and anybody who likes useless sort of information. Made his trade for the Auto Trader magazine. And that's a nice little bit of statistic there about the Reading chairman. He used to count Cilla Black as one of his friends before she was unfortunately bore a sad death a couple of years ago. Chris Town also is a keen, avid watcher of Reading Football Club as well. So Kate Winslow was actually born within touching distance of their own ground at Helm Park as well, which is quite an extraordinary little story. 10 minutes gone in the second half then at Wembley. Reading 0, Huddersfield 0. Yorkshire versus Berkshire here today. You could say it's working class versus middle class, really, if you're going to look at it from the old angle. Berkshire is, along with Sussex and one or two of the other home counties, are the sort of areas that have more two-car families than anyone else. Here's a chance here for Reading. The little chip forward, and it was just wide of the target on the far side. It was Lewis Grabban who stole in behind, tried to get the shot in. He couldn't quite succeed. But Reading here asking one or two questions here of this Huddersfield defence. They've asked a question or two of Danny Ward. Ashley has said Huddersfield could be the only top Yorkshire team next season. I remember Leeds, Bradford, Sheffield Wednesday, and that is the case. Well, we remember all those teams with great distinction, Bradford City especially. Sheffield Wednesday were around for many years, not to mention Sheffield United, of course. Hull City are a Yorkshire club in principle, although they are from Humberside. But they've gone down this year. Naki Wells has been penalised. Just to remind you, extra time and penalties could well be needed, and we haven't had one yet in the two other playoff finals between Millwall and Bradford, and yesterday's game between Blackpool and Exeter. I know the League One playoff final still wrangles with me now some 9 days later, because I still believe that Bradford should be rewarded their promotion at the expense of Millwall because of their behaviour of their so-called supporters. And they have that reputation, Millwall. I don't care if they won the family award with the Football League or whatever. They still have a evil reputation and they should be thrown out the Football League. That's my opinion of the Millwall situation, and that will not change. And that might go against the grain against some Millwall supporters who will defend the club to the hilt, and why shouldn't you? You support Millwall. But as far as I'm concerned, why should we have a team full of thugs, thugs for their supporters, try and pull up a good honest team like Bradford City? I just don't see the logic. If Swindon can get thrown out a few years ago for financial irregularities, then surely the example has to be made of Millwall. Strip them of promotion. It's the only way. If we have had several chances to really make severe punishments with Millwall, but to no avail. Meanwhile, we've got a 3-kick to Reading. Second half possession, I should just also give you 38% Huddersfield, 62% for the Royals of Reading. And just to remind you, folk who may have tuned in a bit late and might want to swear or put spam messages in, don't really bother. Don't honestly bother, because we could do without all that nonsense. It's a family show. We want to make sure that it stays in the family of all ages, so they can hear this commentary live. Free kick to Reading, right on the byline, on the touchline, to the left of the D. Floated in there. Ward getting a good purchase on the punch, only half away. And Gunter then thought from only might have shaped up to shoot. Then he crossed it in. Then the volley back into the dangerous zone by Carament. Then Izzy Brown to win the next one here for Huddersfield. And here's Izzy Brown. A bit isolated though. He's against 6 Reading defenders and has to hold the ball up and get it away to the far side. And in the end, the counter-attack didn't go Huddersfield's way. It will be a goal kick though to Reading. Naki Wells quite frustrated by that, I think. It did come off Naki Wells last, so I don't think in fact it wasn't, it was Kachunga, and he's spoken well out of turn to Neil Swarbrick there. The last thing they need now is David Wagner's side is to lose discipline. Just accept the decision and move on. It's his 7th yellow card he's picked up. So perhaps he takes an unconventional goal kick and it almost put Reading in trouble. Aaron Moy, rather I should say. Now then, real chance for abandon. Here's a chance now for Huddersfield. Cross coming in again. Another corner to Huddersfield. Van der Para doing well. I think he's had a good game down that left hand side. The Huddersfield left winger. I really think he's had a good game. And now we're gone then at Wembley. Huddersfield 0, Reading 0. And Aaron Moy will take the corner now for Huddersfield, who had some really good victories, of course. They beat Newcastle, they've beaten Leeds. They've really upset the odds against all the bigger teams this season to get where they are now. Short corner, Adam Moy plays it in. It wasn't a good ball played in, but Huddersfield still keep it alive. Inside the penalty area, they're appeal handball, I think. And one or two of them really protesting towards referee Swarbrick, but the referee doesn't give the decision. I've got to say, let's have a look at it again. It was a bit of a scramble in there. The shot on the turn, and it came off. Well, was there an Interman ball? The arms look certainly out from a Reading perspective, but the referee didn't look one bit interested, I have to say. So a potential penalty wave away for Huddersfield. Still 0-0, but it's a close game, and as actually mentioned earlier on, it's a toss of a coin. It's a 50-50 toss. Now, there might have been an into a shirt pull there as well. In fact, it might have been a penalty, because that was a late challenge. It wasn't handball at all. I think that's a penalty. I've got to be honest, I thought that was a penalty then. I think Huddersfield can feel rather, justified in being a little bit hard done by then. I think the referee got that wrong. And they're still going forward. Shot coming in just to the right of the area, and it's over the top from Adam Smith for a goal kick. 63 minutes gone, and we're just having another look at this. Well, there was another potential penalty shot. I didn't see it at the other end. Here, let's have a look at it again. Bit of pushing and shoving, and I think, oh, actually, that's actually another penalty. I think he's missed 2 cast iron penalties. I think Smith is very lucky to get away with that one too. Meanwhile, Wedding played their first joker in the pack. It's going to be Jordan Obito. He's been around the club for a few years now. He's a very capable striker. As we see the withdrawal of the number 4 here for Reading, Joey Vandenberg, who's already been booked, and Yapstam taking the wise view to take him off and put on the lively Jordan Obito. He's been, as I say, he's been around the club now for about 3 or 4 years. A really good, capable professional, and he's had a good game. And just because he's been booked, I think is why Stan decided to take him off. You can't blame the Dutchman for doing that. But it's still only wants to be won and lost. It's going to be a toss of the coin. I think there's only going to be 1 goal in it now. One gets the feeling here as the more this second half comes on. But just to remind you that no penalty shootouts have been needed to cover on my channel so far, but that could be a very big possibility this afternoon if it does to end the draw after 90 minutes and 120 minutes. Then that possibility could well happen. 64 minutes gone, so there's about 25 minutes of normal time to play at Wembley in the 2017 Championship Playoff Final. Huddersfield Town 0, Reading 0. We saw a terrific FA Cup final on Saturday, which was unbelievably terrific. Well, we're going to see a terrific end here in this playoff final. I hope so. I really do hope so, because for everybody's sake, because I think we've had a really good fixture that's gone before it today. We've had an enjoyable match, and let's just hope, let's just hope and pray here that let's just hope that there's an opportunity here for a winning goal here at Wembley today. We've just still 0-0 here. We just lost the footage slightly of this final, but we will try and get it back to you as soon as we can. So still 0-0 with 67 minutes now on the clock. A couple of potential penalty shots here, but at the moment it's Huddersfield 0, Reading 0. You haven't missed a kick at all of this final. Anything that's been significant. We just need 1 goal now in the remaining 23 minutes of the second half, and it might only need the 1 goal to decide the playoff final for 2017. And really it's been a terrific final. I just think Huddersfield were about to make a change when we lost the string. Can someone If someone from the comments section on the on the right hand side can bring me up to speed with that, I'd be eternally grateful. There's Sir Patrick Stewart, as I mentioned earlier on, former Star Trek actor, of course. Sir Patrick Stewart, actually, to give him his proper title. I think he's a terrific actor. I've seen him on Star Trek and many other Hollywood films, and he's an absolute colossus in the acting profession, and I absolutely have the dearest of respect for him as an actor and as a person as well. I think he's a great servant to Huddersfield, the town. It's hard to believe he's from Huddersfield when you see him in all these films and things like that. It's just, well, it would make his year if Huddersfield were to go up. I have quite a number of famous people. Huddersfield, as I say, Harold Wilson. I said Howard, didn't I? And he's not that at all. Just a few pointers to interest you in. The European Cup final is next weekend. Or the Champions League, to give it its new title. But here's an opportunity here now for Huddersfield Town. And Moyes shoots. It goes away again. Quainer is on for Kachunga. It had already been booked. Thank you, Ashley. I'm glad to have somebody as competent as Ashley Mottram around, because and still no goals. And the whistle has gone again. Gunter has been penalised. And still no goals. You haven't missed anything at the moment. It's just still 0-0 here at Wembley. As Williams goes forward. Well, it's still anyone's still to be won and lost. Still 0-0. And here we go again. And here's Bagwapara now, far side. We're back with you now. Bagwapara now trying to play the ball into the penalty area. And it's gone out of play for a goal kick. So who will win it? That will be the question. So here we go then, with the scoreline still at 0-0, with 71 minutes of the game gone. Gunter keeps the ball going. Will be either a touch of genius or a touch of villainy now, and that's going to cost either of these two teams the game. Both teams have made a substitution each, and here come Huddersfield now, trying to make a break down that far side, but still no way through at the moment. Final is still to and fro either way. Remember, we have the possibility of extra time and possibly penalties, so we have to look at those possibilities, because if we don't have a winner at 90 minutes we will have extra time, and if it's level after that we will have those penalties. As Huddersfield come marauding forward again with Izzy Brown, but that's a poor ball by Izzy Brown out into touch, and it's a throw, and we're going to see another change here for Reading. Lewis Grabman is going to come off, and Gareth McCleary, who's been around again for quite a long while, will come on. Formerly Nottingham Forest, of course. But at the moment we still to have the first goal of this final, and it might be the one goal that decides it here at Wembley. Remember last year when we started these commentaries off before the Euros, we commentated on an excellent thrilling semi-final between Sheffield Wednesday and Brighton, of course. Sheffield Wednesday won that one over 2 legs, but at the moment it's still, we're no closer to seeing who will join Brighton and Newcastle here in this Championship player final. 19 of the 20 Premier League places are already assured for 19 teams next season. We're just looking for the 20th one. Will it be neither Huddersfield or Reading that are going to get that place? That looked a tackle from behind by Smith, and the referee going over there to book Smith. Late challenge there. So Tommy Smith in the book. I said Adam Smith earlier, but it isn't, it's Tommy. Nil all. But it's been a cracking final. The ball down that near side again. And again, good tackle again. Huddersfield still fighting in there for everything. Boy towards the penalty area, well taken there by Danny Ward, the hero of the semi-final against Sheffield Wednesday. Still 15 minutes or so to play. Huddersfield 0, Reading 0. Huddersfield have it on halfway, but over on the far side it goes. Nice ball down the line. Plenty waiting in the middle if they can get their heads up here. Still in play. Chance here inside the penalty area for Quainer, the substitute. And Dean Hoyle there in the royal box held his hands in his face then for a second or two. Turned nicely here. Ball played back into the mix, and it was Moy who played the ball in. He looked up, played a cute ball in, and it needed just a more positive, much more subtle touch there from the substitute, and that was in the back of the net for me. Oh dear me, what an opportunity. 14 minutes to go plus stoppage time, and if there's no scoring we're gonna have an extra half an hour of this, folks. Mark my words. If somewhat's happening in the world of sport, there's no doubt about that. Still, we await the goal. And Russ Vernon, who was with me on Saturdays, with me today again. Hi JB, says, I said on live radio on Thursday that one goal would win it in the last 5 minutes. Didn't say who though. Well, you can't really say, but if I want on target appears as well as breaks into the penalty area, but how absolutely just got back there and gets the ball away up towards halfway line. Now all of a sudden now Izzy Brown has the ball here for Huddersfield. He's been the guilty party really in this final. He's been the villain of the piece, missing a gilt-edged chance earlier on in the first half. But I'll tell you something, anything can still happen in this game. One moment of pure genius could win the final. 13 to play. Huddersfield 0, Reading 0. Oh, that's not going to reach the Huddersfield man on the left hand side. That's a poor ball from Naki Wells, and he knows it. Not been his final today, Naki Wells. The man that's got so much Wembley experience in his days with Bradford City, when they got to a League Cup final, and obviously lost out in the well, they lost out to Swansea 5-0, but he's had a good record in playoff finals. He won the League 2-1 with Bradford. And now McCleary's onside here. He's faced by about 6 Huddersfield defenders, and he's won the free kick, McCleary. And it's FLE, who's already been booked, remember, so he's got to watch his step. I'm not sure whether that was a free kick or not. Let's have a look at it again from first showing. McCleary now working his way. Well, I think he's looking for that. I think he makes a little bit more of it than he needed to. I think it's a free kick, but I don't think you could call that a bookable offence. Still 0-0 between Huddersfield Town and Reading. We've had 78.5 minutes gone. Just over 11 to play. One goal could decide it all. Danny Ward has made one good save, but now is the time for one of these two teams really to make something happen. John Swift, who can strike 3 kicks, remember he's got 9 goals this season. Can he strike a crucial blow for the men from Berkshire? He's about 35 yards out to the right of centre. Looks like it's a shorter run up than he was the last time. Yes, he's chipped that in towards the area, but again, plenty of Huddersfield defenders back inside their own penalty area. Well organised, as you'd expect from a David Wagner side. 11.5 minutes to play. That was a disappointing free kick there from John Swift, I have to say. Very disappointing. It was too acute, the chip, I felt. But we're going to have a throw about 10 yards inside the Huddersfield half, and it's going to be Chris Gunter, the captain, to take it, former Tottenham and Nottingham Forest man. Ashley is agreeing with what Russ Vernon says. He says, I've got a feeling that you might be right. Fergie has a saying describing tense moments in football. Well, maybe Sir Alex Ferguson had a point there. But obviously Yapstam will know about late wonders, of course, in his days at Manchester United, as a cross came in from the right hand side towards the penalty area, and Reading have won themselves a corner when it could have been so much more. Lovely ball forward, and Huddersfield for the first time really ball watching here, as Gunter got him behind the defence and almost got Kamagant in there. It was the number 44 FLA who got back to deny him, the German centre half. And it's going to be a corner to Reading. Jordan Obita will take it from the near side. One goal will win it. 81 minutes gone. The ball towards the penalty area, and again good defence again, this time from Huddersfield Town. Still plenty for Obita to aim for in the centre from the right hand side. There's a man unmarked in the area, and he could have gone anywhere. Instead he bounced off an Huddersfield player, and somehow it's been cleared. Jordan Obita playing a lovely left-footed ball into the penalty area, and it just wouldn't drop from McCleary inside the box. But they've got a corner out of it, and Obita to take it, but the linesman's not happy. I think there's a bit of jostling and pushing going on in that penalty area. Right hand side now. Business ending again, 9 to play, and a good decisive punch there by Danny Ward. The on-loan Liverpool goalkeeper did really well. Had to go for a bit of a crowd scene, mind you, in the 6-yard area. Now a beater again. Another long ball into the penalty area from the right hand side. And Izzy Brown to win the next one. Looking for Wells, and he's found Wells. And Izzy Brown will get there first, or will he leave it for Moyes? He will leave it for Moy on the far side. Infield to Izzy Brown. Brown now on halfway. And now Huddersfield leading the counter-attack. Can they produce something here down the left-hand side? Something needs to give here in the next 8 minutes, otherwise we're having an half an hour more. And there was almost a possibility of a shot, and he's cleaned the Huddersfield man right out. I'm surprised that's not a free kick there. The referee's not noticed that the Huddersfield man's injured. But they're playing on. Here's Moy now, inside the centre circle, 10 yards inside the Reading half. The referee still hasn't spotted there's a Huddersfield man down. And it has, well, it went on for something like 30-40 seconds. There's the shot. Oh, I'm not sure. I think that's probably a good tackle. It's Smith who's gone down. Camigan comes in there. It is a little bit high. Kerbigan has now been substituted, I think. The stretcher might be out here for the Huddersfield captain. And we could have some considerable stoppage time at the end of the day. The official attendance confirmed by my good friend Russ there is 76,682. 76,682. Meanwhile, we're having a look here at, gives the players obviously a chance to take on fluid, take on drink here at the end of what's been a very testing and trying afternoon. David Wagner up and collared, no tie on, has the suit on, open collared, and still giving it the claps. He's got full of energy, that fella, he really has. 20. It's been a really good competitive final, played in an absolutely cooperative spirit. Adam Smith still receiving treatment down on the near side there. But I have to say the final has been played in a really good spirit. There has been a few yellow cards, I will emphasise the fact. But really it has been a final that has sort of disappointed really on the goal scoring front, because we expected goals in this game. Well, both sides are very attack minded, and unfortunately we haven't really had a goal to bring you today, which has been quite disappointing really from a game sort of point of view. And that's been rather disappointing, but there's still time yet for that to obviously change around, as David Wagner looks on in very concerned and a very concerned nature here, as Adam Smith is now going to be stretchered off. This doesn't look too promising, I'm afraid. So Smith now will have to make way. Not Adam Smith, Tommy Smith, I apologise. But really it's been a disappointing end for the captain. The stretcher is already out. And really this has been a horrible way to end what's been a remarkable game, which has got about just over 4 minutes to go. But it's been an interesting watch in the respect that he has tried to ebb and flow at the earliest opportunity possible, but at the moment we haven't had a breakthrough yet in this 90 minutes. Smith is still receiving treatment. He has the stretcher down here at the moment. We're still waiting for the game to resume here at Wembley. And still we await the first goal of the contest. And well, it's been disappointing from the aspect that we haven't had a goal to bring you and to give to you, because it would have been nice from a neutral's point of view. I know one would like to see Huddersfield win. So we're now into the 89th minute of the game, and still we await the first goal here in the playoff final of 2017. And it looks as if we're going to have half an hour more of this. And it's been a decent watch. It's been a decent final. It's has been a little bit disappointing that we haven't been able to bring you a goal. And as we come towards the business end of the game now, we're up towards the end now. Still no goals. And that's a disappointing match in the way the spectacle has risen here. But here's City Brown now. Can Huddersfield make something happen at the other end? They've got a corner. There's 7 added minutes actually to be added on at the end of this final. So there might still be a chance or 3 for somebody to make themselves the biggest hero of the lot. Will it be Huddersfield Town in front of Patrick Stewart to win the final? Murray will take the corner. Will we see extra time, or will we see a goal in this final? Murray to take the corner. Into the penalty area it goes, towards the far post, and in fact that will go out for a throw to Reading. So looks as if now, without any doubt at all, it looks as if we are going to have an extra half an hour of this, which really from a neutral point of view has been a little bit disappointing, I've got to say. And that's no disrespect to the players that have tried to make a game of it, but it looks as if we're going to end goalless. It is a shame, but there we are. That's the way the game crumbles. Cookie crumbles, I suppose. But we could now be on course for an extra half an hour more, which is unbelievably bad, which will be unbelievable. But at the end of the day, football has this incredible ability of bringing you up to knock you down, I suppose. It's been a decent final, but a final that really hasn't lived up to the billing of the previous 2 finals that have preceded it this weekend. Obviously we've got a few gremlins with the sound. And obviously we'll have to put that right for you. Just hasn't lived up to all the expectations that I would have thought this game would have deserved, as we go towards the business end of the match. Looks like odds on being extra time here at Wembley this afternoon. And Looks like cramp and stamina now will play a key part in this final, I have to say. I think Ashley's got a big point there, what he's saying. As we now enter the last few seconds of this final. And a shot just gone agonisingly close there. Still no goals. Amazingly here to bring you at Wembley. And it's been a remarkable... Well, whoever wins this is going to deserve it, because it's knows that will stand the heat, that will win it. We're now deep inside the 7 minutes. We've played about 4 minutes of the time added on almost, and still we await. Still we await to see who wins this game. Obviously we'll take a little break whilst the extra half hour is taking place here. Still no score, and we're still playing on here. This is really, it's been frustrating them now, because we've lost the live pictures now, and we don't know what's actually sort of happening here at Wembley. The stream seems to have gone doolally with us. Quite slow. A lot of internet traffic as well, which doesn't help anyone's cause, especially when you're trying to watch the live matches and commentate for them. But still, we are deep into time added on at the end, and well, we're going to have to improvise here towards the end, and then obviously we're now 4 minutes into the extra period, and still no goals here. And it looks as if we're going to have that extra half an hour. It was Gareth McCurley that put the shot over the top. Raf TR says, well, I'm not going to say it because you're going to be taken off the live stream. I'm really sorry, folks, but we cannot allow swearing on this magnitude to happen. If you're going to comment on the game, comment in a respectful manner. I am fed up of people swearing on the comment section. We don't do swearing. Is that understood? Is that clear to everybody? So as soon as we get to extra time, we'll take a couple of minutes break, and then hopefully we'll get one or two of the gremlins utterly fixed for you. It's been that sort of a day really, where it's going to end goalless here. 700 minutes, McCleary's come close to winning it, and yet still no possibility of a breakthrough. Still we go on at the end, and it's been a rather frustrating afternoon, where the gremlins again have hit home right at the business end of the thing. But I think it will be going to extra time, and hopefully we'll have those gremlins sorted out in the next half an hour, and we try and give you the thing, and there we are. So we are at extra time, so we are going to have an extra half hour more. We're going to take 5 minutes, but with the scoreline at Huddersfield Town Reading 0, we'll rejoin you for extra time. But we're going to take 5 minutes, take a couple of minutes to get our breath back. McCleary nearly won it towards the end. We've had 1 or 2 technical problems towards the end of that second half. So we're going to take 5 minutes out. Hopefully the Gremlins will have repaired themselves in time for extra time, and hopefully we'll have a really good 30 minutes to remember. Stay with us. With half-time, full-time score here at Wembley of Reading 0, Huddersfield 0. We've got extra time coming up, so join us in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to Wembley as we go into extra time. We played about a minute of extra time, so apologies there for not missing the start. We'll just bring you up to date on who's attacking where. Ball out for a goal kick. We are back with you now live. Still 0-0. And if we are to be level at the end of extra time and penalties, which is a completely utter possibility, Huddersfield have the corner. And the corner, I don't think came to anything in the end. Here it comes, it's nodded out for a throw in fact. So Huddersfield attacking the goal to our left. I'll try and get some news on the injury if we can. Huddersfield have a throw. We are having one or two technical problems because it's really difficult at the moment, and at the moment we can't bring you when the gremlins hit. They hit very hard indeed, and I mean, I'm trying to convey what it's like, and it's very difficult when I'm trying to commentate on the game, and yet everything just seems to break down on me. It's not right. It's not fair. Life's never fair, really. I expected a decent stream this afternoon, but it doesn't happen that way, unfortunately. Final club game in the season, you expect a good commentary. Unfortunately, we haven't had that. So hopefully now we'll get a good spring, but at the moment it's still 0-0. A championship playoff final which could go either way. So anything could still happen. And it's still 0-0 between these two protagonists, Reading and Huddersfield Town. And we're still waiting to get you back live to the action. And right, I think in a few moments we can actually go back to the final and continue the commentary. So still no breakthrough at Wembley. Mainly the final place in the Premier League up for grabs then on this final club game of the season. It's really disappointing that we've had these gremlins sort of happen to us. Hopefully now everything will be back up and running again and we can get on with the commentary of the game. Gives me an opportune time to obviously bring you up to speed with what's happening elsewhere. We've had about 5 minutes, I think, of the playoffs so far. Still goalless here. We're at 92 minutes as things stand between these two protagonists. no way through at the moment. So 0-0. Remember, we had extra time, and now we're looking at possibly penalties. As we can get the action back for you, we will do so quite easily. And it's just technical problems that have ruining it for me, really. It's a showpiece final. We want to bring it to you as much as we can, but unfortunately we're at the mercy, of course, and the weather doesn't help, and with the stream down as it is. But we've had at the moment we're just waiting for still waiting to get some action here in the playoff final. Just elsewhere, well, let's just check on the cricket whilst we're waiting to get back into the commentary of this final. In the cricket, let's see what's been happening in the they played at Lords today in the third one day and have lost by a long chalk, I'm afraid. England and lost, as I say, by a long way. They didn't have a particularly good time of things. As I say, we'll show you how that, we'll let you know how that happened. At the moment it's still 0-0, and 7 wickets the Tourists won by today. It was quite a good victory there for the South Africans, considering that they've had a shoddy time in the first 2 one-dayers, but they are now back in business once again, and we are now back with you. 10 minutes old now, this final. We've missed the first 10 minutes of it, so we do apologise. But Huddersfield, as I say, in the all fluorescent shirts, as Murray takes the ball now, finds Izzy Brown. I don't think you missed anything at the moment in this game. But Brown takes possession again. Just remember, England have lost the third one-dayers. That ball comes straight towards Ali Al-Habsi. Nice little ball in from Izzy Brown. Just to remind you now, with 5 minutes of extra time of the first period to go, 15 minutes out of the way, we've had 10 of them, that Huddersfield are attacking the goal to our right. And running to the left, as the shot comes in from 30 yards, and it's over the top from McCleary, and it will be a goal kick. So we are back with you now live with the action. 10 minutes, as I say, of the extra period gone. Then there'll be half time and extra time where they'll just basically just change around, and if there's no further scoring, then we will have that penalty shootout to decide. But we've hopefully now dealt with the worst of the gremlins for you. It's very difficult with the weather situation to sort it out. You can never depend on the weather when you want it to. But we are back live now for you, and it's been a tremendous final. And as Ashton Mottram said, cramp and stamina does play a part in this now. And it's certainly playing a part in certain players' cases now, although that was a clash of heads that time. The final club game of the season, or the domestic club game of the season. And then it's all down. And it's all down then to the Champions League final on Saturday. As Craney comes on, I've just refreshed myself with the substitutes. I think we've had some substitutions where we were off air, because let's have a look again. Andy Grizzly will fight till the end because with the rolls. So good to have a Reading fan with us. And Reading have been a credit to both teams have been a real credit to their supporters today. It is a bit of a toss of a coin. Izzy Brown has actually come off for Casey Palmer. Hasn't played since the 5th of February, so we have had a substitution. And Liam Kelly has come on for John Swift, I should say. So we've had a couple of substitutions. We'll just see if there's been anything else. No. And really both teams have lacked any commitment or any ideas. As for now, Huddersfield come forward. So Izzy Brown is off now to confirm, and we'll get all that sorted out for you during the half-time and extra time, which is about just over 90 seconds away from happening. Here's here's Obita getting back to halfway, and it looks as if it's going to be goalless going into the end of the first period of extra time here at Wembley. We missed about 5 or 10 minutes because of technical gremlins. I've had to fill in as much as we can. It's very difficult when you're live, and it's so difficult, at least when you're pre-recording it, doing the delayed commentaries, nothing technically goes wrong. Which is a bit unfair really, as Obita has been penalised. We're into the last minute of normal time at the end of the first half, in fact of extra time. Obita's been booked, by the way. It was a tug back just shy of halfway here on one of the Huddersfield players. Obita picks up his 9th yellow card of the season. And Huddersfield have a free kick midway inside their own half, albeit. We've got about 30 seconds of the first period of extra time, and then another 15 minutes after that, Andy. And if there's no decision for either Reading, your team Reading, or Huddersfield Town, then we will have those dreaded penalty kicks to decide who will go into the Premiership next season. Number 19 of the 20 spots are already being filled. One of them, of course, proudly by my team Burnley, who booked their place. So we've had the 15 minutes. We're into stoppage time at the end. I don't know if it's going to be 2 extra minutes more, Andy. 2 extra minutes more. And but at the moment, I think tiredness and jadedness was going to come into it, as Ashley Mottram said earlier. Cramp and stamina. I think in these finals, when you're out on the Wembley turf, and it's a very big pitch, it's energy sapping and your durability does go a bit. And I think both teams now playing at a very orderly sort of pace. But one moment of magic, one moment of madness, or one piece of pure genius could win this final for either Huddersfield or Reading. But it's the Royals of Reading coming forward. And I have to say, I have to give both credit to both managers. They're tactically brilliant. And here's Moy now for Huddersfield, trying to liven the pace up a little bit. And he goes down, but there's nothing going, and it's now Reading on the break. Are we going to see some drama here at the end of the first period of extra time? Edge of the penalty area, left-footed shot, and only just wide from Gareth McCleary. Reading the closest in the first period of extra time. It was Gareth McCleary from about 20 yards out, edge of the D, gets his shot in, and just wide of the target. The Royals so near to taking the lead. John Majewski in the Royal box knows that was a chance, and he's banging his fist down on the floor in absolute agony. Yapstone knows it was a glorious opportunity for Reading. This is what the playoffs do for you, the stress and the tension. It gets to the players, it gets to the managers, it gets to the chairman and the owners, and it gets to the commentary box. One goal's going to decide it now. We've played 2 minutes, and that is no more. So it's half time in extra time here at Wembley. Gareth McCleary with the golden opportunity right at the end of that first period of 15 minutes. His left-footed shot just wide of the right-hand post, I should say. And we've now got the change around, and then we will have another 15 minutes. And then if there's no decision at the end of the next 15 minutes, then we will have a penalty shootout to decide. It has been rather disappointing, really. The pace just picked up a bit in the final sort of a few seconds or so. But at the moment, there's still no way through here. And we're waiting now to see who, as I say, there'll be tactics there being asked and offered. And we're now, this is the acid test now for these players. Well, you've got 15 minutes. The season now depends on, and if anyone here asks me where this one would probably end, I think it might be a penalty shootout. Now, I should also say, domestically this season we've covered nearly 40 games this season domestically, most of them covering Burnley, of course, and a few Premier League games and a few cup ties. But we haven't had a penalty shootout to cover since the Italy-Germany quarter-finals in the European Championships last summer, which has sort of been like 10 months ago, 12 months ago. And we could have that possibility now. They haven't actually swapped around as I thought they might have done, but usually they have to swap straight round and then restart again, but on this occasion they haven't, which is quite a surprise. But the players are understandably tired, and Danny Ward has kept a clean sheet so far. Remember, Huddersfield needed extra time in their semi-final, so we've got 15 minutes to go, and if there's any further scoring, Chris Gunter there has a word or two with the referee Neil Swarbrick, who's been a little bit harsh with one or two decisions, I have to say. But it's 15 minutes now for a decision or penalties. Reading are going to tap the goal to our right, and Huddersfield to our left. Just to remind you of colours, Reading in their traditional colours of blue and white hoops, and Huddersfield also in hoops but in fluorescent yellow and black. So away we go then in the second half of extra time. Huddersfield 0, Reading 0 in the £200 shootout to decide who will be in the Premier League next season. Not Williams, he's gone off, but a real humdinger we could be in for here. I do apologise, I'm not up to date with the two sides, as Andy Grizzly there cheering passionately on for Reading to win the game. I'm surprised it's very difficult to get a ticket into Wembley when there's so many people wanting tickets to go to a final of this magnitude. Huddersfield not been in the top flight, remember, since 1971, the days of Frank Worthington. Reading much more recent, 2012 when they last made it. Got relegated 4 years ago. Both teams struggled in the lower half of the Championship table last year, but have had real renaissance with their two managers, David Wagner and Jaap Stam respectively, as Huddersfield try to counter down the right hand side. Header one again. Izzy Brown has missed the best chance of the game. That was a long time ago now in the first half when he missed an open goal practically. But at the moment he looks odds on extra time. Here's McCleary on the chase on the right hand side. Plenty of Huddersfield defenders back, mind you. Still McCleary, former Nottingham Forest man, losing out this time. And now Huddersfield break on the left hand side. One goal now is going to be so crucial in this game. Van der Pare now breaking down this left hand side. Harvey 905, I think he's a Huddersfield fan. Kachunga is like Huddersfield's Vardy. Well, he's worked hard, but he has been substituted, remember. Plenty to go at here now as Huddersfield come charging forward down the right-hand side. Plenty weight in the centre. Nicky Wells is also there too. And the ball across, it's into the side netting. I think it is a corner. I think it might be a corner. Reading's lost. So let's just remind you of what has happened. As this corner now comes in, Huddersfield 7th to Reading's 4. We've had lots of corners, but no goals. There's Sir Patrick Stewart looking on anxiously. He's got the gift of the gab, being a tremendous actor. Palmer is inside that penalty area, 6-yard box. Plenty forward for this corner. Hooked into the danger zone, and Palmer was at the far post. Also, EFL was there too. Oh. He just needed to grow a bit better, but the corner maybe was too much whipped, really, for anybody to get a header in at goal. It was close. Finn FC says hi, and hi back to you too. As we now go into the third, we have now played 3.5 minutes of the second period of extra time. Remember, at the end of 30 minutes, and we're now 18 minutes and 37 seconds into this extra time period. There's no decision in the next 11 minutes and 10 seconds, plus any time added on. There will be that penalty shootout to decide who will win the playoffs and the £200 million jackpot with it. One team will leave Wembley elated, the other utter disappointment. And here's a chance now for Huddersfield to try and break down that near side, but it's run out of play. I have to say, Van der Par has had a fantastic game down the left-hand side. He's really done tremendously well. Foul there, was there in the side of the centre circle? Indeed he was, says Mr. Swarbrick. Hogg already been booked. Took him out there just on halfway. That's a good tackle as well on Van der Par. I'm going to completed the clearance. Well, there's no chicken in or ducking out of the fight from these two teams. They truly and utterly want this final, both of them. They want to win it. No medals for the losers, but winners' medals and a trophy for the winners and a £200 payday. And from a romantic point of view, and that's no disrespect to Andy Grizzly, you want it to be Huddersfield, but Reading will have a say in that. You've got to be unbiased. As no, I do hope and pray that Huddersfield do get there from a Burnley point of view, because we don't want to be travelling too far to South for most of our away games next season. That's from a Burnley point of view. I hope you don't mean. Well, Huddersfield have already won a penalty shootout this in the playoffs at Sheffield Wednesday, so you'd probably make £200 million. I should say offside, I think, against McCleary. £200 million, I meant to say. Guitar Proctor asked who's the favourites for penalties. Well, if you're going on previous experience, you'd have to say Huddersfield, because they got through Sheffield Wednesday at Sheffield Wednesday in the semi-finals in order to get to Wembley. McCleary was just offside on the replay there, so we've got about 9 minutes to go. Huddersfield have a free kick about 15 yards from halfway. Finn FC says, come on Reading, needs another Royal supporter. Good to see some of the Huddersfield and Reading fans getting in touch today, so it's good to see. Good to see. But one set of the supporters will be disappointed. Jacko Knight says he's got a tenner on Huddersfield winning on penalties. Well, he could be a very rich man tonight if Huddersfield were to win. Probably win a few quid. I don't know how much you stand to win on that one and what odds you got before that, but if I was a betting man now, you would say penalties is the odds-on favourite. But it only needs a second for one mistake or one piece of pure genius, as Moy has it on the far side. Ball knocked back across, down the far side it goes. Only 110 quid, but it's 110 quid better off if you do win. It's always good to be 110 have 110 pounds more than what you had previously. Look at it like that. Well, Cameron Taylor says Danny Waters saved 3 penalties. He certainly saved 2 in the, if I remember, against Sheffield Wednesday in the semis. And Sheffield Wednesday were highly fancied. Reading were the favourites going into this one with the bookies. But this is Wembley. Dreams are there to be made, but also equally dreams are there to be broken too. One team has to lose, one team will win. Just to remind you of the attendance, 76,682 have turned up. Here's Reading on the attack on the near side, but again, good defence there by Huddersfield Town. There's not really much happening now. The players are understandably tired. I don't think we're going to see, I think we'll probably see at least one more chance, and then that might be it. Gunter has a throw for Reading midway inside the Huddersfield half on the right hand side. Gets it back again. Even the substitutes are almost now running on empty. There's Kelly. Reading now just waiting to take the throw, which is a bit nearer in now, about 5 yards, almost level impact with the Huddersfield penalty area, with Chris Gunter to take it. 6 minutes to go. And as a Reading player gone down, the referee spotted that, and Gunter was one player down. There's a Huddersfield Town player gone down as well. This shows how committed both sides are. Hogg, well, I felt Gunter had actually run into Hogg here. He knows he's going to try and get the Huddersfield man sent off. I think he bought the free kick off Jonathan Hoggs a bit there, I have to say. Well, I'll have to say, well, we'll have to see, but at the moment there's not going to be much of a chance in the next 5 minutes or so, unless we see something out of the ordinary to win this playoff final. At the end, we will try and get reaction from the protagonists here. And really, this has been a disappointing final, which is not lived up to too much. Which has lived up to, has not lived up to too many expectations. And the Guymans have come back to haunt us again. So we're back again, trying to bring you more live. We'll try and get the live streams back again now for the next few moments now of this final, as much as we can now. It's just as we are back with you now for the moment anyway, live. What a final this has been. So Jordan Obita over this free kick. So too is McCleary. In fact, inside the penalty area. One goal is going to win it. How old is Al Absi now? Goodness knows, I think he's about 35, 36 years old. There comes the free kick into the penalty area again, well nodded out. And now Huddersfield now on the break with Naki Wells. He hasn't been his final today, I have to say, with a man with so much Wembley experience before him. Flagger stayed down on the far side for offside. The ball played into the centre. Here comes to Wells. Wells turns and just wide. And has hurt himself as well in the process. Well, we were saying that Naki Wells has been in and out of this game. Oh, he was so close then to winning it for Huddersfield Town. Well, he looked like a suspicion of offside there initially, but the ball came into the penalty box, and just by the left of the penalty spot, Naki Wells, who has scored at Wembley in a playoff football before, all he had to do was hit the target, and Huddersfield would have been in front. 4 minutes to go. Harvey wants Huddersfield to win because he would be a fairy tale, and I tell you what, Dean Oil on that in the Royal Box cannot barely look. 3.5 minutes to go. Huddersfield 0, Reading 0, and we've got a dramatic finish here. That was the chance that we were looking for, but I do honestly think Wells has been at it for a long time in the game. And that is always the danger, really, because, well, I don't think anyone can stand it all now. And Huddersfield, remember, were favourites for relegation at the start of the season. It just illustrates how well and how far they've come under David Wagner this season, and how well he has done as a manager, that he's now got them within an ace of possibly getting into the Premiership. It's been a final no played, very committed. Neither team have chickened or ducked out of the fight. And now Craney on the far side for Huddersfield Town. Is there going to be a winning goal here in the remaining seconds that remain? Or Beta stopping him? But what a final it has been. Both sides have really gone for it. As Wanner now takes possession. Remember, the Germans have got a good record in penalty competitions, bowling towards the penalty area that time. And now it's going to be a throw. Van der Parra to take. Aaron Wise, last game before he goes back to Manchester City, of course. He's on loan there, but here come Reading now. Is there one last attack for them? We are now 1 minute and 15 seconds away, possibly, plus stoppage time, of course, away from a penalty shootout. And who knows what might be produced there. 1 minute of normal time to go. Reading 0, Huddersfield 0. One goal now will surely win it for either side. A free kick to Huddersfield in a very dangerous position. And if they get the set piece right, they could win the game. But at the moment, if you're a betting man, it would be the extra agony of penalties. Dean Hoyle can almost barely look. He's virtually got his hands over his eyes. Prayers being offered by the Huddersfield fans. One moment of pure genius from one of their players, and they'll write themselves not just into folklore, but they'll write themselves into immortality in their town. Free kick on the right hand side will be taken left footed. Can Huddersfield get something from this game? Here it comes towards the penalty area. Three players converge on it and can't get the positive touch. We've now played the 30 minutes. Poor defending here from Reading. It was Moore that was playing everyone on. There was the free kick. And there will be no more. It was Craney who almost got on the end of it. So now it's down to David Wagner and Gaps down now to select their five volunteers. Just to remind you of the rules for penalties, whilst Dave Besant there, a Wembley winner with Wimbledon in the FA Cup back in 1988. And, well, it's, well, there he is. He's the goalkeeping coach at Reading. Used to live, actually, a stone's throw away from the stadium, certainly when he played for Wimbledon. Well, we've had no goals. I expected it to be a good game. We certainly got that in terms of entertainment, but in terms of goal scoring, it's been quite sparse, to be fair. But now it's, for the first time, in fact, since the European Championships, we've actually had to cover a penalty shootout here on YouTube, and I'm a complete neutral in all of this. And I have to say, and thank you to Andy and to Guitar Proctor, who have both have subscribed. Thank you very much indeed, guys. And I wish you, and I do wish Andy and his Reading team well, but from a Huddersfield point of view. Now, in the penalty shootout win against Sheffield Wednesday, Huddersfield, Lowell scored, Efferley scored, Naki Wells obviously scored, Aaron Moy scored, but Jack Payne missed. But goalkeeper Ward made some important saves in that shootout, which took them through to Wembley. So the lists of the 5 penalty takers, and then it will be down to who will have the bottle to take the 6-1, because after 5, and it's still level after 5, it goes to sudden death. Andy Grizzly Al Habsy says he's good at penalties. Well, penalties this season, McCleary scored and scored again. Williams scored, McCleary missed. Caraman scored, Williams missed, McCleary missed. Caraman scored, McCleary missed, Caraman missed, Swift missed, Caraman scored and Caraman scored. So there's a few, so indifferent really as the penalties. Al Habsy has saved a penalty before last season, but was a good 2 yards off his line. And I think the linesmen now have to watch the goalkeepers like hawks, because we do see a lot of them now move off the line before the kicker takes the penalty. Now, I hope that is not the case, and I don't want to see some controversial here or end up being a grumpy old man when I'm saying this, but we want to see the game played fairly and squarely. I don't want to see well, we want to see things played straight here now. Both goalkeepers staying in your line before the kicker takes. And now it's all down to who has the nerve at the end of this game. We will continue. We will bring you the presentation at the end of the game. Now the captains will toss up. Hogg has taken over as captain from the injured Smith. I don't know what happened to Smith. We don't know the news of that. I'm sure we'll find out afterwards. But it's Jonathan Hogg and Chris Gunter now discussing what end, or deciding what end we're going to go at. Neil Swarbrick says Huddersfield end. Now it's the toss to see who goes first. And if Huddersfield go first, they have a very good advantage. I'm just seeing who is tossing up there. I hope you listeners are enjoying this now. We've got the action now. We're going to go all the way now. The shake of our hands. Hogg and Gunter made the best team win. So Huddersfield fans and Reading fans, I urge you and advise you to sit on your edge of your seats. Put your hands over your ears, because this is going to be the most nerve-wracking next 10 minutes of your life, as Ward and Al Habsy get the warning from referee Mr. Swarbrick. Don't move off your line too soon. You can only move when the kick is taken. But Al Habsy has not got a bad penalty record, but well, Danny Ward has certainly got a great penalty record, as we saw in the semi-finals at Sheffield Wednesday when Huddersfield went through. And obviously the Germans haven't got a bad penalty record. Dean Hoyle there, the Huddersfield chairman, absolutely praying that it hits. It's his side that go through, but it's Reading that are going to go first. Jan Kermanent, who's taken a few penalties, has scored and missed. So 5 penalties either side, and Kermanent with a short run up, about 3 yards from the ball. Ward standing, bouncing up and down on his line. Kermanent against Ward from 12 yards. Referee just building up some tension here. All the penalties being played towards the left hand side, the Huddersfield end, and they'll be waving, trying to put Kermanent off. It's going to be right footed. So it's Kermanent against Ward. A long delay. Kermanent with the first shot, and it's in. Into the right-hand corner, into the left-hand corner it goes. Gets the seal of approval from John Majewski. And it's Reading 1, Huddersfield 0. And after nearly 3 hours now on the stream, we have the first goal of the contest. So, Huddersfield to go first. Or to go their first penalty. Well, it's going to be a left footer here for Huddersfield. Chris Lair to take the penalty. Scored in the game at Hillsborough. Left footed again. Scores again in the same corner. 1-1. So Chris Lair with a confident penalty. Reading 1, Huddersfield 1. Remember, these penalties being taken at the left-hand end of Wembley in front of the Huddersfield fans. This is important now for Reading. Their second penalty. Yep, Stam just walking around his technical area. Williams to take it. Blonde afro hairstyle. It's a straight run up against goalkeeper Ward. Right foot, and he scored. Down the middle it went. 2-1 to Reading. Cool penalty from Danny Williams. So Reading with a 2-1 advantage. Ward should have stayed at home, to be fair. He came within half an inch of getting something on that ball. And he knew it, the goalkeeper. Phew. Well, it's FLA who's going to take the next one. He was the second one against Sheffield Wednesday. They're 2-1 down at Huddersfield, but they're kicking in front of their own supporters. Al Absi, the linesmen have to watch now. He's going to be right-footed. Oh no, Absi was clearly about. Yeah, nothing's on as he took the penalty. Surely it has to be retaken. Absi clearly moved, and it's going to be allowed. Well, that's disgraceful from the officials. That is disgraceful. It wasn't a good penalty, but he moved there! Ridiculous! Why aren't the referees spotting that? Absi's clearly about 2 yards off his line when the kick is being taken. I find that absolutely preposterous and ridiculous. Absolute ridiculous. But it's going to be allowed. So this for 3-1, right foot. And it's into the back of the net. And Reading, in a totally unfair and unsatisfactory manner, are now getting towards the Premier League. But Al Absi clearly moved. You can't have that. The referee and the officials have surely got to take some accountability. They have to watch it. So Naki Wells next up for Huddersfield has to score. And he does. The goalkeeper had no chance. 3-2, Reading. If you don't like me shouting, don't continue. I do it to add drama. The goalkeeper on that penalty clearly moved. But Reading needs something from Ward now. Reading on the verge, a 4th-1 now. And he's missed! Over the bar! Oh my word. And Huddersfield back in it. I think it was McCleary with the penalty. Oh, he went too much on the pace of the ball and it clipped the crossbar. Oh my goodness. It wasn't, in fact it was more. I apologise, more. And now it's Moué to make it 3-3. Patrick Stewart looks on. Right footed against Al Absi. And he scores. 3-3. And we've got one penalty to go. Into the left corner it went. Cool as you like. And now, who's your money on now, folks? Who is your money on? The 5th and final penalty. John Swift can't obviously look. It's all happening here. Long run up, left footed, and it's saved by Ward. Poor penalty by Obita, wasn't in the corner enough, and John Majeski may well believe that it's the writing's on the wall for Reading. Just DTI, if you don't like it, don't bother. Some of us do it for the pleasure. Don't ruin it for everyone else. But it's down to Huddersfield Town. Patrick Stewart looks on. What a moment this is. It's going to be right-footed. And it's there! The number 26 has done it. And it's Huddersfield Town who go into the Premier League in the most dramatic fashion possible. And maybe justice has been done because that penalty miss from Huddersfield was saved by Alossi, who was clearly 3 yards off his goal line. And maybe in some respects, no disrespect to Reading, that justice has prevailed because the referee didn't spot that blatant piece of cheating by Ali Al-Absi. Williams is devastated, but it's jubilation for Huddersfield, who were the better team in the first half. Reading came back into it in the second. Either side could have won it in extra time, but Reading bottled it when it mattered the most, and Ward came up with a big penalty save. And it's Huddersfield who go into the Premier League, and we're going to have a Yorkshire side, and they join Leeds United, Sheffield clubs, Barnsley and Hull City and Bradford in making it to the Premier League. They're going to represent Yorkshire and surely represent them with great pride next season. They're going to be favourites for relegation, of course. Samuel Akpan is rather behind on that. It's all over, mate. So it's finished 0-0 after extra time, and Huddersfield have won it 4-3 on penalties. Yap Stam, well, he can be pleased with his troops. They've had a good season. But Dean Hoyle, take it in, mate. It's all over. You don't have to look away now. And what a proud chairman. He should be smiling. Patrick Stewart, surely it's... Oh, my goodness. What a fairy tale. What a fairy tale. Davy Wagner. Davy Wagner. What a hero. And let's get some reaction, including the man who got the penalty. It was Schindler who scored the penalty. Let's hear from him.
But I think we deserved it, and this feeling is unbelievable now. Tell us what was going through your mind when you stepped up, and how was the heart rate? Don't know, the heart rate was really high, I think. I think nobody's feeling 100% comfortable playing in that under this pressure, but yeah, you have to believe. You've had to do this the hard way as a team. What is it about this team that makes you able to climb mountains? Yeah, it's a team, as Jesus said, it's just a team. Whoever makes a mistake, there's another one. And tries to defend the goal. And I'm so happy that I'm here with this wonderful team that I'm in England. And yeah, I think we're going to make some money after a long season now. I heard you said you could write a book about your times at 1860 Munich. Is this going to be a whole new chapter? Yes, for sure, 100%. How does that feel? Premier League, Huddersfield Town. Still as a close kid. Absolutely unbelievable. I think that and the last semi-final was just, it was just from our season up, to be honest, you know. The grit and desire the group have got to hang in there, it's been unbelievable. So, obviously, congratulations. What was going through your mind when it went to penalties? Same as the semi-final, just save away. Tranby, but they're going to go with this. They stop goal, try and get a hand on it. And thankfully again, it's swung in our favour. I spoke to the manager earlier in the week. He said when he came here, he had to take this club out of its comfort zone. Is that where you are now in the Premier League? Yeah, in some way, but on the other hand, fully deserved. You know, the special group of people behind me here have been unbelievable all season. The work that no one sees behind the training ground, you know, double sessions, real craft and the determination in this group was something I've never seen before. So I think it's just desserts at the end. What is behind the spirit here? I think the manager plays a huge part, especially with the people that he brought in the summer. You know, big characters who, you know, normally sometimes the lot foreigners come in and it can be tough, you know, with the language barrier, but everyone's come in and it seems to just click straight away. And obviously it's all six of Panama, so it's a big massive fun. Well, congratulations, go and enjoy that party.
Well, what a marvellous, marvellous way. I'm glad the interview's going round because I certainly lost my breath and lost my voice as well. I do apologise to people who might have offended as well. I do get, when it's a dramatic occasion like that, you have to milk the drama for all it's worth, and I certainly had to milk it. Well, for one winner, there has to be a loser. Unfortunately, it's Reading, and I know a few of the Reading fans will be gutted and upset and disappointed. And they gave their all really for the 120 minutes, but in theory their goalkeeper did cheat and got away with it when he saved the penalty. I can't excuse that. You want to see the penalties done fairly. He was warned by the referee. I'm surprised he allowed that one to stand, really, because I would have had, if it would have been me, I'd have let that been taken again. Again, that's no disrespect to Reading, but the best team I think on the day prevailed. They were cooling up on the penalties. Danny Ward saved legally from Obita. It was a poor penalty, and he will have to carry that burden all summer long. There he is. And what great sportsmanship it has been throughout the final. We'll bring you the presentation. We'll bring you more reaction as soon as we get it. By 6 o'clock in the evening. And Jonathan Oates is now speaking to one of the Huddersfield heroes.
Huddersfield Town in the Premier League. It's now no happy dream. It has nothing to do with the dream. It's the reality. This team, these guys, everybody for them achieved such a big thing. We are now in the Premier League with Huddersfield Town. I think, what is this? Such a small club now in the best league in the world. That's just crazy. How grateful are you to your teammates having missed your penalty in the shootout? It was a very, very worst moment in my career, but I think we stick together. The lives don't go always up. We played 90 minutes so well. Then on the bench, the goalkeeper did it good. I did it poor. I was thinking to anyone, and then Christopher Schindler, my teammate, my partner in the room, is such a good lad, and he's deserved it. The last 10 to the win to the Premier League. Look at this 40,000 Huddersfield Town fans. It's reality. It's unbelievable. I can't believe it. Nicky, you're a Premier League striker. Congratulations. How does that sound?
Oh, great. Finally. It's been a long journey, you know, being here a few years ago and, you know, in League 2 trying to get promoted out of it. You know, always thinking this was a dream. And for it to come true today, you know, I'm overly moving emotions so high right now.
Well done. Enjoy lifting that trophy.
And now it's down to the presentation. We didn't get much of an interview out of Naki Wells, but he doesn't care, does he? He's now made it. He became a bit of a hero 3 years ago with Bradford City when they got to the EFL Cup final, but then lost, of course. And then he got Bradford out, and then he went to Huddersfield Town. And then, look at this now, the dream is certainly happening, and obviously Reading won't get any rewards. They will troop off down the tunnel. I hope they've also done a little lap of honour for their supporters as well. But Dean Hoyle, what a proud chairman he's going to be now. Danny Ward, great save. And Schindler with the decisive penalty. Cabergan, who's experienced the upside of being promoted with Bournemouth a couple of years ago, feels the complete opposite now. But Reading did try and bend the rules a bit, the goalkeeper did, and I'm sort of, you know, I think justice has been done, although you do feel sorry for Reading. I don't feel any pity for El Habsi, who clearly tried to cheat in that shootout by moving off his line, but it doesn't matter. Justice for once in this crazy game has been served, and there's going to be, I honestly think Huddersfield, they were favourites for promoting. It's almost like Burnley was and Blackpool was all those years ago when they got promotion against all the odds. Burnley in 2009 and then Blackpool a year later under Heaton Holloway. But David Wagner is now, will never need to buy a drink in Huddersfield ever again. He waves to the fans. And they have deserved it. They've earned it over 46 games. They got into the playoffs. They saved their players, and I think he was proved right to save his best team for the playoffs with 3 games to spare. He was severely criticised. Smith is going to go up the stairs on crutches, and it looks as if it's some kind of ankle injury. There's the selfies now, and yes, the good old selfie sticking full view there. As all the players now go through to receive their medals, they're all in the royal box. They're dancing and cheering and shouting and screaming and all sorts. But whoever had a £10 bet on Huddersfield being promoted to the playoffs, if anyone had done that at the start, I wonder if Sir Patrick had done that. But then I think people would have laughed in their faces. But what David Wagner has done is in nothing short of not just a minor miracle, but a major miracle. Sir Patrick Stewart, and I'm sure Harold Wilson looking on will be proud as they receive the trophy, the medals there. They're enjoying it and milking it for all it's worth, the Huddersfield players. They're absolutely loving it. They were in the mix for even automatic promotion as recent as mid-March, and they fell away when Bradford and Newcastle started to pick up form and just couldn't be caught. And once they sealed their playoff place, they rested players, and my goodness, David Wagner got a fair bit of unfair stick for that, and the Football League thankfully prevailed and didn't fine the club or punish them in any way, shape or form. But now it's going to be Hudson, the club captain, and young Smith as well, who's on crutches, but he's going to walk without the crutches unaided. He'll hobble there, and Huddersfield Town become the 20th and final club to reach the promised land and play in the Premier League next season. They complete the Premier League lineup as they lift the trophy high into the London skyline. The Huddersfield fans cheer as one. And what a dramatic end. It was a good final for a 0-0, 120 minutes or so. But penalties it was. And I do apologise to any people that may have had been upset with the way I delivered the playoff penalty shootout. But when you're a commentator, you have to milk these dramatic moments for all they're worth. And you certainly have to milk them, so I make no apologies for that, although I do apologise to anybody whose ears have probably just taken a ringing for most of Bank Holiday Monday now. But well done to Huddersfield Town. They've hung on in there, they've done it, they've hung on in there, and in the penalty shootout, when it mattered, take their big prize, a place in the Premier League next season. Thank you very much for Huddersfield. What a dramatic penalty shootout, and well played Reading. They did their utmost in the game, but in the end I think justice prevailed, because Al Habsi, when Huddersfield missed their spot kick, he clearly moved a good 2, maybe 3 yards off his line, certainly 2 or 3, maybe 3 paces off the line, and that should never have been allowed to stand. But Huddersfield rose above it, did what they needed to do, and Danny Ward came up with a big penalty save in the 5th one, and then the winning penalty by the number 26 has sent Huddersfield into raptures. 1971 was the last time Huddersfield made it into the big time. Well, they won't worry too much longer. They've had so many so many bad moments really over the last 40, 50 years, but it's all been worth it in the end. Christian Schindler struck the penalty. Izzy Brown actually in the first half missed an earlier chance, and how well he must feel as the biggest noise of the afternoon goes to David Wagner, who holds the big three-handled trophy aloft. And now they're going to go down to pitch level and milk the occasion for all it's worth, and they deserve to. On the course of the 90 minutes, 120 minutes, there's probably nothing to choose between them. But that's the end of our coverage here today. Just to remind you, on the 10th of June, we have World Cup qualifier football, and what a game. England travel to Scotland for a real big World Cup qualifier. You'll be able to see that from 5 p.m. at Hampden Park, and then of course we'll have the French match as well, I think, as well next week, during the week as well, to finish our commentaries this season. But thank you very much indeed. And plus on Saturday, on Monday afternoon, we'll have a delayed stream of the UEFA Champions League final between Juventus and Real Madrid. Real Madrid, of course, looking to win the Champions League, defend the Champions League for the first time in the era of the Champions League, and Gigi Buffon looking to win the one medal that's eluded him so far in his career. So join us on Monday afternoon for the match for the Champions League final, which will be played on the Saturday evening. But that's it from me. I hope you very much enjoyed the 3 hours worth. We've had a few gremlins, a few technical gremlins along the way, but it's Huddersfield Town after a 0-0 draw after extra time that prevail 4-3 on penalties. The only penalty struck by Christopher Schindler sent a nice little small town in Yorkshire into unbelievable moments and joys of ecstasy, and will take their place in the Premier League next season for the first time in the top flight since 1971. Well done to Huddersfield. Our deepest sympathies and commiserations to Reading, but it's Huddersfield Town and David Wagner who take the spoils at Wembley today. From me, JB, I hope you very much enjoyed it. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of your bank holiday. Until a week next Monday when we do the Champions League final. Take care, and we'll see you very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye.